name's Hallie.
And today we are very excited to bring you this financial literacy seminar, something we have been working on all year long at our Horizon site.
We work at the American Institute for Economic Research, a site in Great Barrington. AIER gathers economic research and teaches individuals about economics and finance. What is financial literacy? Financial literacy is the ability to use knowledge and skills to manage one's financial resources effectively for lifetime financial security.
Every week we've been coming to AIER and organizing this program. We have also had the opportunity to sit on lectures about concepts such as inflation, stock and bonds, and the importance of saving.
AIER is a non-profit organization which educates people on the economy, giving detailed reports on inflation, the everyday price index, and business cycle conditions. They also send out publications making people aware of the current stance of the economy.
Our first assignment was to look up financial literacy standards and requirements for the state of Massachusetts. The result proved the need for financial literacy in as many schools in Massachusetts as possible. Champlain College Center for Financial Literacy graded all American states on personal finance education in high schools. With the full range, A, B, C, D, or F, Massachusetts received an F because there's no financial literacy requirements in the state of Massachusetts. As you can see, we need to improve this.
Because of this, we wanted to share what we learned at our Horizon site with the whole school. Financial literacy is something everyone should learn, and we wanted the Miss Hall's community to be no exception. We thought it would be a great idea to bring financial literacy in the form of a seminar. We could have speakers and presentations. Everyone at AIER was so supportive and ready to make our vision take place. And so, for many weeks of Horizons, we came each Thursday and we worked on the seminar. Before we hear the presentation from the AIER speakers, we would like to introduce Stephen Adams, who is the president of AIER.
So what Haley and Chloe are doing for you is extremely valuable today. They're giving you a chance to learn really important habits that if you develop now, they'll serve you your entire life. Now, here's another thing to keep in mind. Your culture doesn't want you to know this stuff. These girls are giving you information people don't want you to know. Amazon doesn't want you to know how much money you're taking in and how much you're spending. H&M doesn't want to know, doesn't want you to know this stuff. Colleges certainly don't want you to know this right now. And the ones who don't want you to know the most are the cell phone companies. They have no interest in you paying attention to what you're spending compared to how much you have. Your culture doesn't want you to know this. What you're going to learn today is antisocial behavior. You begin lessons from the time you were born about how to spend money and how to buy stuff. And they couldn't make it easier. Except now they're going to fly the stuff to your house and your own. So take advantage of today. Be antisocial. And learn how to manage your finances. Thanks a lot.
Our talk today is about budgeting for you. Why? Because we think it's because everyone has to live with a limited income, right? And then also, we have to prioritize our needs and wants. And we're going to do with you some exercise today where you have to really juggle those decisions. Okay. So what we want to kind of also tell you how this works. So you should start basically with your needs and then go to wants, right? So if you have something left over in your budget after you put some in savings, then it will be cool to also, of course, invest. And then don't forget about savings. And here in your budget book, your savings, going to put taxes and savings together. When you're on your own, of course, you have to allow for taxes, but savings definitely, right? And kind of there's a rule, so at least 10% within savings, and everyone, when you go to other talks about it, it will say, pay yourself first. So savings is good paying to yourself, because you can then accumulate it and buy things.
So the advice I have is to make a picture in your head that's very clear to you of what you want your life, financial life, to be like when you're 60. You probably know people who are 60 or older, and you can use them as examples. I definitely don't want to be like Uncle Joe, you know, or grandma is great. That's what I want to be like when I'm 60. And think about your purpose in saving that money. Part of that is for you to make choices about your work. Do you want to continue your full-time occupation or not? Now you have that option. You might not have that if you haven't thought about it. If you aren't going to work full-time, maybe you're very passionate about volunteering for a particular, in a particular place or for a particular cause. Now you have the opportunity to do that. Perhaps you have some money saved that you aren't going to need for your own self the rest of your life. Now you can be a philanthropist. And you can say, I really want to support this program, like at AIER, just for example, to encourage financial literacy for high school students. They have a great program there. I want to support them. And you would have the opportunity to do that. So there are many reasons that you can think about for when you're 60, when you're 50, when you're 70, when you're 80, to reflect on, to bring to a clear picture for yourself. That picture will help you when you're not close to 60 yet. Have that vision, have that motivation.
I'm going to ask you guys a question. How many of you know how much money you spent in the last year? You're good. There's very few of you. So I'm going to take some of everybody else's answers and try to answer your question in a very practical way. Write everything down. Know how much you're spending. Put a cap on each bucket that you use for your expenses. So, like the exercise we did before, if you're spending $500 on clothes during the year, look at that and say, I really only need to spend $200 over the course of the year, or less. And maybe wait.
Get ready when it's your money. Get ready. It'll be your money soon.
And I'll give you one really good tip. If you have a birthday coming up, wait for your birthday. Or Christmas. So you just need to be smart about your finances and using that exercise of allocating money to each bucket and finding a cap that you know that you can achieve. Because another thing that you don't want to do is set a cap that's unrealistic. Because then you'll go over it, and then you might not take your allocation seriously, and the next time you'll just continue to go over it. So be realistic, but stay conscious about what you're spending and write everything down. I think that's the best advice I've heard all day.
Well, credit cards can be, I got my first credit card, my parents signed for me when I was 18 years old. And it was just to establish myself in this country, in this world, establish my credit, build my credit score, which enabled me to later buy a home or buy a car, especially my home, because they look at how you can repay something that you borrow. So a credit card can be a very good vehicle if it's used properly, which it needs to be. It needs to be paid off monthly. It's not something that you assume you have a $500 limit, so you go out and buy this beautiful pair of boots for $500, and lo and behold, it's going to take you X amount of years to pay off those boots, which may be out of style next week, and it doesn't make sense. It's something that's used that should only be used if you can pay it back faithfully every month and pay it off, and that builds your credit score. So it does work well when it's used correctly. Credit scores can range anywhere from roughly around 350 to 8 or 850 is your credit score. And basically there's three main, there's Equifax, there's TransUnion, and there's three main credit bureaus that actually, when you take out a loan or you start using a credit card, these are ways to monitor what you actually tracking your payments, tracking your balance. They're looking at, okay, how many credit cards does this person have as far as, and how far maxed out are they? That does not look good, obviously. They're looking at patterns of repayment and making sure that you don't have 10 credit cards that have no limits left on them, but you have maybe a couple credit cards that show a good payment cycle. This helps increase your score over time. Things like balance transfers and things of that nature, when you get into that with swapping money back and forth on cards that may have 0% doesn't help you. So there's a lot of, if you FICOscore.com is a great website that you can go to, and it gives a lot of information on the specifics of credit scores and how they work and what is good and what is not, as far as a score, but the higher the better, obviously. So.
Okay, so what happened is, like, I just, a year ago, I moved here to this area to work at AIER, but I was in New York City before. So, yeah, but so it was not our first house, but we were relocating from Westchester County to here. And when you apply for the mortgage, even if it's now a new one, established credits or whatever, so, and our credit score, my credit score is pretty good, actually, I don't know what the number is, but I'm good. I'm not top, but good. So, but one of the reasons when you receive the statement about your credit score, one of the reasons was mentioned there, why I'm not 850. One was like 100 or something, not. One of the reasons was that I have multiple credit cards. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like, so which now I have? Like, I have like different cards, like was Taylor, I had, Staples, I don't know, like those cards that stores give you, because then you can get 10% off, right, when you sign up, or 15, So I get all this closed thing, and I did not use them actually much, but they are on my record. So one of the things that says why is not perfect, one was multiple credit cards. So it's kind of, I mean, in terms when you have it, it does affect your credit score. But then, so again, I was getting those to just get discounts in those, stores that are offering them. But you just have to begin. Don't have a million. Try to use one or two.
As we've learned, financial literacy is so important in our everyday lives. Although we may not be in a position yet to invest in stocks or bonds, being able to make good budgeting and banking judgments is crucial.
We hope that you'll walk away ready to put all what you learned today to use. Spread the word and share with your siblings, parents, and friends what you know. A big thank you to all the guest speakers came, everyone involved, AIER, MBT Bank, Ms. Parker, Ms. Davis, the kitchen staff, and the Miss House Committee for coming. Thank you.